Okay, dear cousins of mine, how's everybody doing? This is Robin McDaniel here, and we're going to go up through the Walter line so you can see how we reach our American Revolution grandfather. So we're starting with Alfred Smith here. That is our grandfather. We know from records and his personal recollection that his parents were William S. Smith and Bessie L. Walter. Now, both of these were married before. They were married to, William S. Smith was married to a Myrtle, and Bessie Walter was married to a J.T. Ray, as you can see right there. There's a later in life marriage. I believe Bessie was 40 when Alfred was born. And let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things about Bessie. That I want to show you here. We don't have a lot of records on Bessie, especially after her and William got married. I'm not sure why the records are harder to find, but they are. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the 1940 census here. I meant to have these already up to show you. But in 1940, you find the census. I'll zoom in on it for you. We have W.S. Smith and Bessie Smith and son Alfred Smith, who was 14 years old in 1940. So there we go, verification of his parents and Bessie Walter. Who is the key person here in the start of this line? I need to bring up another ancestry tab. Let's see if there's anything else from these records I want to show you. Not necessarily. Okay, so we go on, and as I said, Bessie was hard to find records on. The only link that I have from Bessie to her parents is through Grandpa's recollection and just family personal papers. Every person on my tree I have verification for. That's why I pour a lot of work into the family tree. This is hours and hours and hours of work because every person on my tree is verified through documents. A lot of people who use Ancestry do not do that. They copy and paste from other trees and they get errors, and the same errors are over and over and over again on these family trees. There's been many times where I've thought about messaging some people, and I haven't a couple of times, especially when they had me personally wrong. But anyway, so I just want you to know, if you see it on here, it is more than likely 99.9% for sure. So anyway, one thing that you'll notice is I don't have a lot on the Rays. I definitely don't go up on his tree because anybody above here would not be kin to us. Now his kids and their kids and stuff will be half-blood of ours, as well as from William's first marriage to Myrtle. And I believe that I've never been 100% sure on whether Geneva was Bessie's or if Geneva came from Myrtle. Myrtle died in 20. Yeah, I'm just not for sure on this one. This just I put this as one of the first people I put on here, so this group was one of the first people I was able to add. I just can't remember if I verified who that mother was. I'm sure that y'all may already know. If I mention things that y'all know, just let me know, or ask me any questions later if you like. Okay, so Bessie's parents, Sarah Williams and Samuel Hiram Walter. All right, as you can see, I've not gone up any further on Sarah Williams' tree. That is another day, another long day of starting that. because there's so many different branches to work on, and I just kind of pick and choose what I want to do. It's my project that I kind of do in my spare time. Just recently, I've started working with Chris on this, and we watched some college football the last couple of Saturdays and worked on it together, and he's enjoyed it, so he's helping me a little bit now too. So Samuel, there's a couple things I want to show you about Samuel. I've already got those up for my ancestry. And of course, we already looked at this record, don't need that one. Let's see, is this the one I want? Okay, this is Samuel Walters. If we look at this death certificate right here, come on. Samuel Walters, full name. This is where we get our parents for Samuel. We have Hiram Walter and Glenn. The last name is Glenn. We'll get that first name on another record, and that would be the 1850 census. Take a look at it next. Elizabeth. We know the last name was Glenn, so we have Elizabeth Glenn right here. Of course, that's another family tree to work on. As you can see, the little green leaf means that we do have hints for that tree. So we will be working on that soon. But let's keep looking at some things about Samuel. All right, so we're looking at, sorry, I had to do some little work there. We're looking at James's childhood in the census here. We got James, 1850. I'm sorry, we're not looking at James, we're looking at Samuel. Why was I saying James for? That's all his name first. Samuel, 13 years old. Father Hiram, mother Elizabeth. We established that. Now let's just find another name close by. Let's say Julia. Julia looks to be 5 or 6 there. All right, let's go up to the 1860 census. All right, by 1860, we know that Hiram has passed away. He passed away about, well, he was towards the end of 1850. They had a son that they named Hiram. There's Julia, okay, now 15 years old. Where was there? We go. There's Samuel. Now, Samuel is still living at home. He's 23 years old and he's a student. That is important because of his role in the Civil War. Okay? So we're going to pause. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. Here's his actual record of being a prisoner of war during the Civil War. His rank is first lieutenant. Go over here and we find Walter. Here we go. Samuel H. Walter, right here. First lieutenant. That's where he was captured at, and the date he was captured, and all those good things. Or not so good, actually. But good things for us to see the actual primary document of the recording of the prisoners. Very cool. Okay. So that's really neat. That's why Samuel is a pretty interesting fella. I want you to see, I showed you all those two from the census. You'll notice I haven't put in all the other kids yet. I've just got a couple in there. And I will fill those in at a different time, folks. It's just a big project. And so we move on up. We saw the death certificate for Samuel, that is parents, and we verified the first name and last name, and the first and last name of the father. That brings us to Hiram Walter. And let's see. Hiram was he was a guy had pretty good money. I've got a record of the marriage to his wife, And I've got his will and probate. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here because it's hard to read. But the guy had a lot of stuff. Wish I could. Yes. This is his estate. It's kind of slow. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to. Every single thing that he owned when he passed is listed in here. One mule tote valued at $30. One cotton gin valued at $70. So, you know, the guy had some money. And I don't have a lot to share with you about Hiram as far as just showing you the records. I could show you, like I said, I could click that through there. I could show you everything he owned, but that wouldn't be a lot of fun. And the censuses before 1850 did not show anything but the head of household. We could look at the 1850 census. I can't remember how much information was on here. All right, there's Hiram. But in 1850, let's see. There's the wife Elizabeth. There's Samuel. We already looked at this census. Okay. So, let's go ahead and move up one former family member. Hey, had to do some work again. So I'm not sure what the last thing I said. Now we're back at it. No, we were moving up from Hiram, James, Walter. I've only got 3 minutes left in this that I can do on this free program for recording. So I'm just going to show you. Oh goodness, that was the wrong thing. This is the will of Jane Medlock and Walter. Well, she was Jane Walter. This is a copy of her will. It tells us that Hiram S. Walter's parents were James Walter and Jane Medlock. Very good. All right. Now we minimize that. We don't want to spend much time on James. He's a good guy. Married Jane. Had a bunch of kids. Wow, did they have a bunch of kids? All right. But we now want to move up to John Walter, our hero. All right, so John Walter. A lot of what we know about John Walter comes from a professionally done genealogy report done on the Walter family, and a lot of that comes from a book called Early Families of North Carolina. Early Families of North Carolina Counties of Rockingham, Stokes with Revolutionary Service, and the other name of the book is Walter, A Family History. All right, so we have a lot of that spelled out for us in here. So, how do we know he was a soldier? Well, it tells us in here that he received a land grant for his service in the American Revolution. And I wish I could find that. Hold on a second. So I'm almost out of time. I have to hurry. We have verification that John Walter and his wife were the parents of James Walter from this professional ancestry document that was done, and it shows that it shows their list of children. So I want to go ahead and just minimize that because it's not that important. Here we have his war participation. It shows us that where he's buried. It tells us where he's buried and tells us about his participation in the war. So he received a land grant for his service in the Revolutionary War from North Carolina. So it goes on to show that he served in which county he lived in, and that's a good thing. Those good things. And all has the sources. This is from the breakdown of his assets when he died, because there was a long probate, The skeleton in the family closet, the 6 slaves.